Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is sadly that time where I have to do my reading wrap up for August. I feel like August is just, oh look at Ollie, he's trying to get out. He literally I just put him back in the room because I have to like trade them off. So like when Mickey's sleeping, I'll bring Oliver out so he can like wander, so he's not like trapped in my room all the time, but he like sleeps in here and everything. And I just brought him back in because Mickey woke up and he's already trying to leave. Anyways, I love August. Like I think August is just like the vibes of August are like my favorite, but then also knowing that like September and October is like fall time, is like when fall's coming, also makes me excited because fall is my favorite season ever. I feel like I used to be a summer person, especially when I was in school, because like you had summer break and stuff like that, but I love everything about fall. And then I don't really hate winter. The only thing I hate about winter is driving. Like I want to work and stuff in snow and stuff. It's a pain in the butt. But other than that, I like winter. I like the vibes of winter and fall. I like wearing, like being cozy and putting on like a chunky sweater. I put one on today even though I think it's like 80 degrees outside today. But that's besides the point. I'm going to be doing my August reading wrap up. I'm so sad that August is over, but I'm going to talk about the books I read. I read 7 books, which I feel like isn't a lot for me. I usually read more than that, but JC Kalen, he was doing like a Twitch stream, like a uncapped subathon, and he was on for 30 days, and I would like put that on most of the time to like watch it. So in the beginning of the month, my reading was kind of like all over the place. But yeah, I read 7 books, which isn't bad. It isn't my best, it isn't my worst. So let's get into the books that I read. So starting off the month, I read the Bad Rep Duet by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So this follows Garrison and Willow, and you do meet them in, I forget what book they get first introduced in the Dicta Calloway books. But this book is just them. It's from their point of view, and I had such a hard time getting into this book. I don't know why. I feel like it took me so long to read. Usually when I read like any Addictive Calloway books, I fly through them. Like her writing is just so like, I don't know, I love her writing, I love her characters, but Garrison and Willow, it took me a while to get into them and to like them. And in the beginning I didn't like Garrison. I was kind of iffy about him, and then towards the end I loved Garrison. I love him. And Willow started to get on my nerves. So I ended up giving this a 4 stars. I still really enjoyed it, but there were some like time jumps in here that really annoyed me. Like this book's already 700 pages, I get it. It's 2 books in one, but the time jumps just really annoyed me. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil this book for anyone, but I gave it 4 stars. I didn't like the time jumps. I love Garrison and I love Willow, but she just kind of like annoyed me a lot in this book. And it's funny because in my week of my life I was saying that I was iffy on Garrison, that I loved Willow, but Garrison, his character development in this book was everything to me. I really love him. So yeah, I gave that book 4 stars. I don't want to say too much on it, like I said, because I don't want to spoil anything. The next book that I read was The Right Move by Liz Tomford, and oh my gosh, I loved this book. This is the second book in the Windy City series. The first one is Mile High, and that one follows Xander. Who's the girl in that one? Oh, Stevie. So not The Right Move. Mile High follows Xander's and Stevie. And this book follows Ryan, which is Stevie's brother, and Indy, which is Stevie's best friend. And Ryan is in the NBA, he plays basketball, and Indy ends up having to need a place to stay because you find out in the first book, like something happens to her and she ends up needing a place to live. So Ryan lets her stay with him, and at first he's just very grumpy, and then I don't know, you just have to read it for yourself. Like I said, I don't want to say too much, but the things that Ryan does for Indy in this book made my heart melt. I think he's definitely one of my top favorite book boyfriends, up there with Lauren Hale. Like, I loved him, the stuff that he did for her. Just thinking about it right now, Using Butterflies, he is the standard. And I loved this book. I loved Indy. She gave me such sunshine vibes, and I loved her. So yeah, I gave this book 5 stars, infinity stars. So good. Please read it. I feel like a lot of people DNF'd the first book, which is Mile High. But I think even if you didn't like that book, please read this book. I think I gave Mile High 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite book, but I still enjoyed it. I can see, though, why some people didn't enjoy that book. But yeah, even if you did DNF the first one, please give this book a try. You won't regret it. It's so good. Alright, next I read Powerless by Elsie Silver. This follows Jasper and Sloane. And this book gives me such Speak Now vibes. The song Speak Now. Because Jasper plays hockey and Sloane is is she a ballerina dancer? Or... yeah, I think she is. My brain on remembering like certain things in books can either be really good or really bad. But Sloane ends up getting engaged to this guy. He's literally the worst. And I think it's on the back of the book. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, yeah. He ends up swooping in, and because she's getting married to this guy that's just the worst, and he saves her from that, and then they go on this like road trip, and I don't want to say too much, but this book was so good. I loved them, and I'm excited to read the next 2 books. Reckless I will probably read in September, I think, and then Hopeless comes out in October, which that is Beau's book, which I'm so excited because you see a little bit more of Beau in this book as well. And I love this. I don't know if this one tops Heartless. I still think Heartless is my favorite, but I think I gave this 4.5 stars or 4.25 stars, somewhere in that range. I still really enjoy this book. I feel like I flew through this and I tabbed it, and I don't know. I loved them. It was such a cute read. And then I read The Summer of Broken Rules. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember a lot of the stuff that happened in this book. All I know is they play this game, and it's like Assassin, and basically they have to like, it's a whole thing. I don't know, but you're also following Meredith, and she lost her sister. Her sister's name is Claire, and you kind of go through like her healing, and I don't know, it was really good. The romance in here was meh, in my opinion. I gave this 3 stars, I think. But yeah, it was a cute read. I don't really remember too much about it, but they take like an annual vacation with like their family, and that's basically what the book is about. And the assassin game. That's really all my brain can remember from this book. It wasn't a favorite. I didn't hate it, but it was a cute summer read for what it was. I liked it. And then I read The Naturals, which is a series that I heard about from Larry Reads on YouTube, and to be honest, it's funny because these books have been out for a while, but I feel like after I heard her talk about this series, when I went to Barnes & Noble, I saw them on like the book talk table or like popular book table, and this was on it, and I swear to you, I go to Barnes & Noble all the time, and I've never seen this book until she started talking about it, and so like until it started getting like hype. I read the Inheritance Games series, which she wrote, and this book, you're basically following these, I don't want to say too much. See, it's hard for me, like I don't know, I don't want to spoil things, which is why I suck at doing these wrap-up videos. So if you watch these, I appreciate you because my brain just goes all over the place. Anyways, you're following Cassie, and she gets recruited into this group. They're called The Naturals, and they basically are trying to solve cold cases for the FBI. It's the FBI, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. So you're following, it's in Cassie's point of view, but then you have these other characters. You have Dean, Michael, Sloane, and then there's Cassie. I don't know if I said her already. She's the main one. There's another one that I'm forgetting, and I really liked her. Leah. I think that's how you say her name. I think those are all 5. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but I don't think I am. So yeah, they are all trying to solve cold cases, and they all have these, like, would you call them, like, special abilities, like things that they are, like, there's profilers. One of them can, like, detect when people are lying. One's, like, really good with, like, math. So yeah, the gist of this is they are all solving cold cases, and then something ends up happening at the end, and when I tell you I was shook, I was not expecting the plot twist that happened in this book. It was crazy. And there are 3 other books. I have the next 2. I need to get the last one, but I will be continuing on with the series in September. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars, I think. Yeah, I really liked it. It was a really good introduction into the series, and I'm so excited. And I honestly loved every single character in this book. I think my favorite was obviously Cassie, the main character, and I really love Sloane. And I hope we get, like, her point of view some point into the series. Alright, next I read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This was the last book by Emily Henry that I needed to read. And I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but last summer was when I really started getting into reading. And I wanted to pick this book up in the summertime and read it. And next thing you know, summer's over, and I wanted to buy it and just read it, like, in the fall or winter time. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I want to save this book for when it's meant to be read in the summertime. So I'm really happy that I read it this month. But you are following Alex and Poppy, and they met in college, and something ends up happening, so it's like a second chance. But they weren't, like, together in the beginning. Like, they were just friends. But then something ends up happening to their friendship that you find out in the book. And she used to, like, invite him on these, like, vacations that she had to do for her job. And yeah, he would always go with her, and then they stop talking because something happens. And then there's another vacation that she gets to go on, so she asks him to come along, and you find out, like, what happened between them, why they don't talk anymore. And I loved this. It was such a cute read. I think I gave this 4 stars. I cannot rate any of Emily Henry's books under 4 stars, because her writing and what she makes me feel for these characters that she writes about is just insane to me. I loved Poppy and I loved Alex, and I don't know, it was such a good read. It was so fun, and it just gave me the ultimate summer vibes. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this book. Okay, last book that I read in August was Terms and Conditions. This is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaires series. So you were following Declan and Iris, and so basically their grandfather left them certain things that they have to do before they can get their money from his will, I'm pretty sure. Or yeah, his inheritance clause. Like, he has certain things that he has to make them do before they can get the money. And for Declan, his grandfather said that he basically has to get married and have kids before he can, like, become the CEO of the company. So he ends up having to find somebody to marry him, which ends up being his assistant Iris. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna be for real, I did not like this book. The only good thing about this book was Iris. I loved her. She was just, I don't know, she was just so positive, and she loves plants, which I don't know, that was just something that I loved. She was so bubbly, and Declan was just a wall. Like, I feel like his character was a wall, because she would, like, talk to him, and, like, the way that he would just, like, react and, like, talk down to her. Okay, obviously a wall doesn't do that, but he just really aggravated me. He was just too grumpy. I feel like there's a certain line of, like, okay, he can be a little bit grumpy, but he was just the ultimate grump, and I did not like him. And the third act breakup in this book pissed me off, just the way that he was acting. And then you get, like, his, like, redemption in the end, which he was alright in the end. He wasn't my favorite. So I think I gave this book 3 stars. Like I said, the only good part was Iris. And you got, like, Cal, which is the next brother's book. You got to see a lot of Cal in here, and you got to see Rowan and Zara, which was the couple from the first book. So yeah, those were, like, the good parts to me about this. I just could not stand the main love interest in this book. So yeah, I did have a little bit of like the funny moments, but I feel like those were more like things with like Iris or Cal or Zara and Rowan. So yeah, like I said, 3 stars. That was probably my least favorite read of the month, although I am really excited for the 3rd book, which is Cal's book. So I'm really excited to read that one sometime soon. But yeah, those are all the books that I read in the month of August. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what books you guys read in August. Let me know your favorites, your least favorites. Let me know if you read any of these and your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around, even though I don't know how to describe books very well, because I always get scared that I'm gonna like say a spoiler and like someone's gonna watch this video and be so excited to read one of these books, and I'm gonna spoil it for them. So my brain kind of like shuts down in these videos. So thank you for bearing with me. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.